Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Richie from Wisdom and Chains and the Post America podcast. I was asked to give you guys my top 10 favorite albums, movies, comics, or books. I'm going to skip out on the comics because that's for nerds. I'm going to skip out on the books because that's for nerds too. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite albums. Let's go number one right here. One Voice by Agnostic Front. To me, it's the greatest hardcore album ever put out. One of the best metal albums ever put out. It's a beautiful blend of crossover and hardcore. Lyrically, it's incredible. It kind of details Roger's time behind bars. It's sort of their comeback record at the same time. Over the Edge, great song. The title track, One Voice, incredible song. Not to mention, Agnostic Front always has great lineups, but the lineup on One Voice, you have Will Shepler, a Pennsylvania native on drums who went on to record Set It Off, great drummer. You have Matt Henderson, who's one of my favorite guitar players, along with Bobby Hamble. He's one of my favorite guitar players ever come out of hardcore. He's on guitar. He has great leads on the record, great rhythms. And you have Craig Satari on bass, who has an incredible tone, one of the best resumes in hardcore, the bands he's been in. And then, of course, you got Vinny Stigma and Roger Merritt, the OGs of the band. And One Voice is incredible. I'm going to go with that. That's my first choice, One Voice. All right, for my second choice, I'm going to skip over from an album to a movie. This could be my favorite all-time movie, Forrest Gump. Come on, man. Forrest Gump got everything. Forrest, he defies all odds. You know, he's not all there, but he ended up being like a big shot, you know what I mean? He was in Vietnam, he saved his friend. Bubba died though, you know what I mean? But he saved his other friends. He always remembered Jenny. He never forgot about Jenny, tracked her down, his true love. Incredible movie. And the way they threw in some historical stuff, how he met Elvis. Man, I love that movie, man. It just makes me feel good. And Forrest he's an OG. So that's my number two, Forrest Gump. Okay, for my third choice, this album was recorded in, I think, 1973. That's over 40 years ago. Still holds up. Still incredible. Every generation gets into this album. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. The intro on that, I think it's called Breathe, with the build-up. Oh, man. Dark Side of the Moon is like legitimate musical magic. Gives me a crazy feeling. I love that record. I always love that record. That record it's a historical document, you know. After society falls and the next group of people take over, they're going to dig that album up. And it's gonna influence them just like it influenced us. Number three, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, easy. Beautiful record. For number four, I'm going back to the movies. But not just one movie. I'm going for the whole Rocky deal. I don't know how many there even were. I'm going to even throw in the crappy Rockies with Tommy Gunn, The Russian. They were all good. The newest one, Creed. But think about the original Rocky, man. Rocky was the real deal. He was a good dude. He was honest. He was a little stupid. He was from Philly. He was punch drunk. Always did the right thing. Loved Adrian. Took care of Paulie, even though Paulie was a sucker to him. He took care of Paulie. He had the big dog. He had the fish. He ate raw eggs. He jogged around. Man, just the background, the scenery of the 70s in Philly to start out, all the way up to Creed and how Philly looks today. I mean, that's a beautiful movie. All those movies. So let's go with the whole Rocky saga. That's my other choice, the Rocky saga. Here's my fifth choice. My fifth choice, very important, the album Paranoid by Black Sabbath. This is their second album, I think, but why this one is so important is because of the song Paranoid. The song Paranoid on this, to me, is a blueprint for future punk rock, future hardcore. I mean, we already know they are basically the inventors of metal. But that song, Paranoid, The drum tempo, the style, that's punk, that's street rock, that's oi in the earliest forms. That's old as hell too. That might have came out the same year as Rocky. I don't even know. But let's go with that one. Black Sabbath, Paranoid, great album. Important. Without that, who knows? The world would probably have ended by now without Paranoid. My sixth choice, in 1976, a very important album was put out by the Ramones, self-titled The Ramones. The first three tracks, Blitzkrieg Bop, Beat on the Brat, Judy's a Punk, the whole album was textbook, classic. It proved America started punk rock. America was responsible for this beautiful music. They defied all odds. They had the ugliest frontman in the world, but he had the silkiest, most beautiful voice. Such an important album. Self-titled Ramones. Ramones are right up there on, to me, on the importance level just like Black Sabbath for what they did. So let's go with the Ramones for that one. My seventh choice, this was hard. Master of Puppets by Metallica. This record is crazy, man. It starts off, I think, with Battery. It ends with Damage Incorporated. That's like two of the hardest metal songs ever on one record. Then it has a beautiful instrumental like Orion with that bass line. Oh, Master of Puppets. If I'm not convinced Metallica wrote that, I think that was handed down to them by the gods, or they sold their soul to Satan and he gave them that album. Incredible album, Master of Puppets. I mean, the first four albums to me were great, but that one, light years ahead of everything at the time, really set the tone, the standard, influenced so many. Incredible record, very important record. Master of Puppets. Okay, number 8. Number 8's important because when I was a young dude, we all had, well, I didn't have no car back then, but all my friends had dope Pathfinders with big systems, blowing out bass, 15-inch woofers, Blaupunk amplifiers, and crazy head units. And we used to push It Takes a Nation, a Million to Hold Us Back by Public Enemy. Yo, great record. One track that stands out on that record is She Watched Channel Zero, because they had the sample, the Slayer sample, the guitar loop. So good. That whole record is good. Chuck D's voice, incredible. I mean, to this day, to me, he's one of the most respected MCs. So I'm going to go with that one. Public Enemy, Takes a Nation, a Million to Hold Us Back. Okay, check it out. For number 9, we're going back to the movies. We're going to Wrath of Khan, Star Trek, Wrath of Khan. Khan was a hard dude. And I'm a total fan from even the series. You know, even when I was a kid, the series were already old. I'm not that old, you know what I'm saying? But I used to watch those series all the time. Khan was in it back then. He returns in this movie for vengeance. And man, he almost had it. But this, there's a scene in this movie, just thinking about it, I could tear up. You got the death of Spock, where Spock sacrificed his own life because he said the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. Yo, Spock is the dude, bro. Then you have Spock's eulogy at the end and Kirk chokes up. Great movie, man. To this day, if I see that, I get chills. You know what I mean? It's like a real funeral for me. Spock was my man. Forrest Gump, Rocky Balboa, Spock, those are the 3 greatest characters of movie history. So, Wrath of Khan, number 9. This is rough because it's my last choice. I could go on, man, but in 1985, the Misfits released a compilation called Legacy of Brutality. So many classic songs. Angel Fuck is on there. My band Wisdom in Chains covered Angel Fuck a long time ago. You know, if you want to check it out, check it out. But She's on there. I love the cover artwork. The Misfits are really important. That album, it's not a studio album, but it's just like unreleased tracks, and it's really, to me, a very important album. I thought I would never be able to take a band seriously that wore makeup, but when it comes to the Misfits and Twisted Sister, I could let it slide. And great album. I love every song on that album. I was lucky enough to go see the reunion in Jersey like last month. Killer, incredible. So my last choice is Legacy of Brutality by the Misfits. Thank you very much. And yo, get the new album, our new album, not the Misfits' new album. It's called Nothing in Nature Respects Weakness on Fast Break Records worldwide, and in Europe, Demons Run Amok, and it should be out, I think, July 20th. And respect, take it easy.